The people at your first company are going to be the people you hire at your first company. So there is this picture going around that is going famous on X, and it is the HRT class, intern class of 2015. And pictured in this photo are Alexander Wang, the founder of Scale AI, Jeffrey Yan, who's the founder of Hyperliquid, Scott Wu, co-founder of Cognition, and Jesse Zhang, co-founder of Decagon. So they are calling this the picture worth $80 billion because this intern class went on to found multi-billion-dollar companies. So before the intern class of 2015 at HRT, there was the PayPal mafia. So it was this phenomenon where a single company, PayPal, had an alumni network that spun out dozens of successful founding companies. So YouTube, Yelp, and Palantir are all companies that were founded by ex-PayPal coworkers. So what can you gather from this? What I'm gathering from it, at least, is that it's very important to pick your early companies right in your first years of your career. Because these relationships that you form in the first 5 years of your career will be the relationships that either empower you to create an empire in the future or prevent you from leaving your cubicle job forever. Apparent why parents will eat up tuition costs of private high schools or private colleges, or co-sign on penthouses so you can continue living in New York City. It's because these circles see their investments 5 to 10 years down the line when they meet the right people and socialize in the right circles. Now, I come from a mid-class background. I went to public schools all my life. I went to a public state college that was 10 minutes down my parents. Most of my internships were local and all this stuff. And I don't mean to be here and say that the things that I said previously are the only way you can be successful. But once you reach the real world, it's very important to be conscious about the circles you are putting yourself in and making sure that you are giving yourself a fair chance for the future. Let's talk about internships. For your first internship, I believe you should not be worrying about the pay or the location. You should instead be looking at where those interns or the alumni go after the internship and where are their careers or are there success stories from those interns. I think that is a lot more important. So this was a mistake of my part where I was looking at internships where I could maximize the amount of money that I would get. So that's why I chose ones that were very local to the area and where I basically just wouldn't really have to do anything besides cash and money. And internships are not supposed to be for that. So really, you are under another company's dime, just being asked to make friends with people and to network and all this stuff. And really, the company doesn't expect you to do real work. Your GPA is not affected at all. An internship is really just a place where you can explore a landscape. And I'm not saying to just party all the time when you have an internship and just let loose. But what I'm saying is to not be scared of socializing with people more than actually doing work. Because truly your work there's no increasing stakeholder value with the work that you are doing. That is not why they hired you. But let's say you aren't looking for your first internship. Let's say you are at your first job or your second job currently. So if you're watching this video, I'm assuming that you don't want to work under someone your entire life. And you're trying to understand what are the right steps in order to get to that goal. I would want you to bring out a notebook or say this in your head, the people at your current job that you would be comfortable starting a company with. And so if you really can't think of anyone, you should really consider leaving or understanding the reason why. Because no matter what industry you're in, the pay you're getting or the job title that you have, you should be able to find personalities in your workplace that you get along with and would actually work with outside of the workplace. And I'm not saying BFFs, just someone that you think you could work with. let's say you're working at the government, you don't think about the pay or the location when you're thinking about which of these coworkers would I work with. You're thinking of the personalities. And with certain companies, you can actually scope out what are the types of people that work at that company. How do you kind of do this without working at the place, knowing this earlier rather than later? I think it's very important to do office tours and see how people move or operate within the floor. Are they tense or quiet? Are they laughing and playing games in front of the CEO? Are they younger or older? Do they have a ping pong table in the common area, or do they have TVs that show quotas on the wall for the whole office to see? Is there art on the walls? Are there snacks? Is there miscellaneous things like a piano or arcade machines or a library? Are there pets walking around on the floor? This can tell you a lot about the culture inside of an office before actually working there. So you should regularly do this audit as you're navigating your professional career. Maybe every quarter or so, you should understand the people that you're surrounding yourself with and see if these are people that you would want to stay in touch with after. This doesn't mean you have to, but you definitely shouldn't be completely adverse to the idea. I can detail more about my situation. So I can see myself working with my coworkers outside of work. And I don't mean the coworkers that I talk to every day. I even mean the ones where I only speak to them once a week. It doesn't matter how many times you've talked to someone. It matters more about the impact that you've done for them or they've done for you. So make sure that you're at least providing people with value in some way, and this should be easy because you were hired for a valuable purpose. So just making sure that you show this to people is important. If they are a salesperson that you want to get to know, show up to their events and make their selling calls more enjoyable. If they are an engineer, ask them for rubber ducky sessions. If they are a products or operations person, fill out their surveys and let them know the feedback on whatever feedback they want. You'll notice that in a lot of my examples, it's not about, brown nosing them, but it's really just to have them have the opportunity to help you. If there's a person you can see yourself working with, half of the reason is because they help people and because they can help you. So by knowing if someone is a good person that helps you is also a great way to know if you can see yourself working with them. So my last concluding thoughts are just be curious, reach out to people and take a mental note on the people you surround yourself with, and if you could see yourself in business with them 5 to 10 years down the line.